Go check out in the refrigerator in the garage. Did you pull it out? Did you pull out your oatmeal? Happy Thursday, beautiful people. Don't be smacking all loud. Hold on, y'all.
Mom, if I can end it. Can I end it today, Mom? No. Can I end it today? No, I can end it.
You're not about to start this first thing this morning.
Mom, you did this at one time. I can end the laptop and they can end the phone.
Okay, well, if y'all can come to that agreement, we might be able to work something out. We're not fighting online.
But this time you can let me and they end this time.
So you agree to that plan, Andrea?
Huh? I need the laptop. You're ending the phone.
You with the phone, she in the laptop? If we can come to an agreement, that just might work.
Hey, Mom, how about this? I can end that, but they can end that.
Don't do that.
The other one, you be done. No, I mean not actually be done. I mean I can end that and I can end that.
Okay. We'll see. Happy Thursday, beautiful people. It is Thursday, August the 18th, 2022, day 189 of year 4, reading through the books of the law and the prophets under the 4-year consecutive day count, day 1,207. And today we're picking back up in the Ark of Bond, chapter 29 on page 457. Father, change us from the inside out. All right, beautiful people, let me say hey to everybody. Right. Hey, girl. Hey, Vanette. Greetings. Anita, greetings. Set apart living, all praises to the Creator. Beautiful rising, Tabitha. Shalom, shalom. First time. Greetings from Chicago. Give thanks to the Most High Creator of all the creation, the Judge, the Juror, the one worthy of worship and praise and thanking, remembering, learning, etc., etc., etc. Come through first time. Shayla, that's Wabu, great rising. Communicator, Yaqib, Char, Haya, Elia. Excuse me if I messed that up. Greetings. Shalom. From Sydney, Australia. Come through, Australia. Okay, y'all, let's get started. All right, page 457, Ark of Bond. Tezi, the king, said unto Chan, because thou hast given me this great delight, it seemeth to me that I should issue a decree commanding all my people to accept thy doctrines. That was a question. Let me read it again. Tezi, the king said unto Chine, because thou hast given me this great light, it seemeth to me I should issue a decree commanding all my people to accept thy doctrines. Chine replied, 1 second. Hold a second. I forgot you can't reach it. You gonna put some in it? Mine stuck over there. You gonna do it over here? At the tiny table. Okay. Chine replied, "Oh man, how short thou art in understanding our Father. Violence is his enemy." Y'all got your highlighters out already. Just go ahead and whip them out. Just real quick, especially for my Hebrew brethren and sisterin. Chine replied, "Oh man, how short thou art in understanding our Father. Violence is his enemy. Such decree would be no better than a decree establishing any other heavenly ruler. It would thwart itself. He come not with sword and spear like the idol gods. He cometh with education, the chief book of which is the example of good works and of peace and liberty to all." I like that too. Trina, hey girl, hey. I like it. Audrey, shalom. Key, hey girl, hey. I read that again, verse 2. Chine replied, "O man, how short thou art in understanding our Father. Violence is his enemy. Such a decree will be no better than a decree establishing any other heavenly ruler. It would thwart itself. He cometh not with sword and spear like the idol gods. He cometh with education, the chief book of which is the example of good works and of peace and liberty to all." Tezi said, "Thou reasonest well. Hear me then, thou greatest of men. Command me even as if I were the meanest of servants, and I will obey thee." Chine said, "O king, thou tormentest me with my own inability to make thee understand." "O king, thou tormentest me with my own inability to make thee understand. Thou shalt not make thyself servant to any man, but to Ormaz, the great spirit." The king said, "Then I will put away my kingdom." But Chine said, "Consider first if thou can best serve him by doing this way or that way, and then follow thy highest light, and thou shalt not err." The king asked, "How sayest thou? Shall I put aside my kingdom and my riches and do as thou doest?" Chine said, "Thou shalt be thine own judge. If I judge for thee and thou follow my judgment, then I am bound to thee. Suffer me to have my liberty also." Tezi said, "If the great spirit would give me thy wisdom, then would I serve him. How long, sayest thou, a man shall serve him in order to reach great wisdom?" Chine said, "Suppose a man had several pieces of glass, some clear, some clouded with smoke and grease. How long, sayest thou, it would require to make them all clear alike? For such is the man in for such is the self in man. It cloudeth his soul, and when he have put self away, then his soul is clear, and that is wisdom. For then he beholdeth the Father through his own soul, yea, he heareth him also. And until he doeth this, he believeth not in his person or presence, no matter how much he professeth." The king kept Chine many days and questioned him with great wisdom and delight. One day Chine said to him, "Jehovah said to me, Go thou quickly unto the 5 other great provinces of China and explain to the kings thereof who I am." Chine added, "Therefore, O Tazi, I must leave thee, but after many days I will return to thee and exhibit to thee the testimony of immortal life." The king provided camels and servants and sent Chine on his way. And after Chine was gone, Tezi said to himself, "Although I cannot decree Chine's doctrines, I see no reason why I cannot decree the extinction of Taing and all other idol gods." And thereupon he did as he thought best, prohibiting the priests from doing sacrifice to Jas, God, or Hojas, Lord God, or Tan, or Po, or any other ruler in heaven, save and except the Great Spirit. Chapter 30, page 457. In course of time, Chaim completed his labor with the 6 kings of Japheth and returned to Tezi to die. At this time, there had been established in different places more than 1,000 families, communities of faithists, either through Chaim or his followers, the chief rabbis. And when Chaim returned before the king, Tezi, there, hold on. And when Chaim returned before the king, Tezi, there came from every quarter of the world men and women to meet him and learn wisdom. And all that were in any way sick or lame or blind or deaf, he cured by pronouncing the word yOur over them. And persons who were obsessed with evil spirits, he healed by permitting them to touch his staff. And many that were dead, he brought to life, for he showed before men power to accomplish anything whatsoever. Yea, he rose up in the air and walked therein and thereon over the heads of the multitude. And whilst he was up in the air, he said unto the multitude, I will now come down amongst you and die, as all men do die. And ye shall suffer my body to lie 5 days, that the eyes may be sunken and black, showing that I am dead of a truth. And on the 6th day ye shall cast the body into the furnace and burn it to ashes. And the ashes ye shall take into the field and scatter in this way and that no more of me is seen or known on the earth. So remember, before he even did this, he already knew what was about to happen because Jehovah told him what he would do, right? Okay. And on the 7th day, which shall be a holy day unto you, behold, ye shall witness in the field of my ashes a whirlwind, and the whirlwind shall gather up the ashes of my body, and my soul shall inhabit it and make it whole, as ye now see me. And I will break the whirlwind and descend down to the earth and abide with you yet other 7 days, and then ye shall behold a ship descend from heaven in an exceeding great light, and I will enter therein and ascend to the second heavens. Right? So you totally bypass the first heaven, straight to the second. Remember, because all the shenanigans going on the first heaven, first level. That ain't where you want to find yourself when you pass from here, my G. Verse 7, page 457. Neither shall any man, nor woman, nor child say, Behold, Chine was a god, nor shall ye build an image of me, nor a monument, nor in any way do more unto me or my memory than to the meanest of mortals. For I say unto you, I am but a man. For I say unto you, I am but a man who hath put away earth possessions, desires, and aspirations. And whatsoever ye see me do, or know of my having done, the same is possible unto all men and women created alive on the earth. So clearly by this time, he has learned how to sargus himself, right? Because be able to pull your body back together after you pass away, the body been rotted, eyes sunken in, you done burnt from the ashes and scattered the ashes in every which way. You got to know something, right? And whatsoever ye see me do, or know of my having done, the same is possible unto all men and women created alive on the earth, right? We should all learn how to do this before we go. At least I aspire to do this. Remembering that all things are possible with Jehovah or Maz, and to him only is due all honor and glory forever. Amen. I added the amen part. Okay. Verse 10. So Chine died and was burnt to ashes on the 6th day under the superintendence of King Tezi, and the ashes were scattered in the field as commanded. And on the 7th day, whilst the multitude surrounded all the place, a whirlwind came and gathered up the ashes in a small degree, and the ashes were illumined, and the soul of Chine went therein, and he burst in the whirlwind and came down even at the king's feet. And Chine said, Knowest thou who I am? And the king answered, saying, Of a truth, thou art Chine. And because this hath come to pass, I decree that this thy native land shall henceforth forever be called China, which we know today as China. And I will send unto other kings also, and they will decree the same thing. Chine said, Even so do thou. And since the Father hath allotted me 7 days to remain with his chosen and with thee, O king, apprise thou whom I will name to thee to come and see me. And thereupon Chine told the king whom he desired to come. And Chine walked about the earth, even the same as before death, nor could any man tell by looking at him that he had passed through death. Nor were his clothes different, although they were made out of the ashes in the whirlwind. On the last day that he was to remain, he called Tezi and the persons he had selected, and thus spake unto them, saying, and that ends chapter 30, and we began the last chapter for the book of the Ark of Bond, which is chapter 31, which is continuing what he is saying. My brothers and my sisters, in the name of the Great Spirit, hear me. These are Chine's last words, for the Father calleth me. Be ye attentive, that ye may remember my sermon. Be also considerate, for I am no more nor less than one of you. I was sent into the world to wall this great people around with Jehovah's hand. I have made you an exclusive people for 3,000 years to come. I give unto you peace and liberty. I have drawn a veil over the bloody past and taught you to love and respect one another. China shall become the most numerous nation in all the world. This is the miracle of the Father unto you. On the foundation I have given you shall your doctrines be henceforth forever. Be ye watchful against gods, josses, and saviors, and especially weary spirits of the dead who profess not the great all person. All such are instigators of war and lust after earthly things. Be ye exclusive unto one another, suffering not outside barbarians to come amongst you, especially to marry with my people. Ye shall not war against them, but it is lawful for you to build walls about to keep them away, the great wall of China. And these walls shall stand as the Father's judgment against all people who molest or injure you. And every change of the moon, ye shall renew your covenant, which was my covenant with Jehovah, teaching it to your children, and commanding them to teach it to theirs after them, and so on forever. Swearing ye unto the Great Spirit to ignore all heavenly rulers, but the Creator, the I am, who is everywhere. And though idolaters come amongst you, proclaiming their God or their Lord or their Savior, hearken not unto them, but nevertheless persecute them not, nor injure them, for they are in darkness. Neither be ye conceited over them, for your forefathers were like unto them. The Father hath made a wide world, and fruitful and joyous, and he giveth it unto man's keeping. Unto one people, one country, unto another people, another country, and so on all over the world. China he giveth unto you, and he saith, Be ye as brothers and sisters in this, my holy land, which in the ancient days was made to bloom as a flowery kingdom by my chosen. The faith is of old. Let me just go ahead and highlight this, right? See, I think I told y'all about this before. I had this thing before about hating flowers. Remember I was talking about people ugly flower dresses? Now I got a whole garden. Well, I'm working on putting it back up now that we been here at the new house. But now I absolutely love flowers. Like I literally go to the store to flower shop. Listen, verse 18, in which the ancient, I'm sorry, be ye as brothers and sisters in this, my holy land, which in the ancient days was made to bloom as a flowery kingdom by my chosen, the faith is of old. But they were neglectful of my commandments. Idolaters came upon them and destroyed them, and laid waste their rich fields. Yea, the bones of my people were strewn all over the land. But ye are now once more delivered, and ye shall make China bloom again as my celestial kingdom. And ye shall multiply and build and plant and make this heritage which I give unto you as an example unto all peoples of industry and peace and thrift, and of the multitude that can dwell in one kingdom, manifesting love, patience, and virtue. Let me read that again. Verse 23. Let me go back to 22. And ye shall multiply and build and plant and make this heritage which I give unto you as an example unto all peoples of industry and peace and thrift. Bless you. And of the multitude that can dwell in one kingdom, manifesting love, patience, and virtue. And by your neglect of war and of war inventions, ye shall be a testimony of my presence in this day. For the time shall surely come when I will put down all unrighteousness and war and idolatry, and I will be the all person unto the whole world. Chine hath spoken, his last words are spoken. Jehovah's ship of fire descendeth from his highest heaven. Chine will rise up in this, and even so shall ye who are pure and good and full of love. A light like a great cloud, but brilliant, blinding with holy light, descended over all the field where the multitude were. Many fell down in fear, and many cried aloud in great sorrow. Then Chine went and kissed Tezi, and immediately walked towards the midst of the field, and was lost in the exceeding great light. And the light turned around like a whirlwind and rose up higher and higher, and then was seen no more. Chine was gone. And now were manifested the power and glory of Jehovah. Tezi at once made special laws protecting all persons who rejected gods, lords, and saviors, but worshiped the all light Jehovah. 4 of the kings followed with the same edicts and laws. The faithless were safely delivered into freedom throughout China. Thus ended the revelations of the 3 contemporaneous sons of Jehovah, Capelia, Moses, and Chine. End of the Ark of Bond. I love this book. I have a new favorite book. Every time we get through a new book, it just adds to my list of favorite books. You can't just have one, right? All of them up to this point have been my favorite book. Communicator, so it is written, it will come to be eternally, now forever, righteously, truth, hope, remain now, light, truth. Hallelujah. All right, y'all. So now we start God's book of being. Okay. Here follow first. God's book of being. Okay, so it's remarks on the interlude. So I think with this, hold on. God's. Oh, wait. Hold on. This first page kind of threw me off a little bit. Okay, so it doesn't split. Ooh, it's about to get into like the vortex and all these cool pictures. Okay. Oh, I hope I can keep up. Some of this stuff, y'all, I may have to read over and over and over again. Ooh, this is a good chapter. Okay. The 9 entities. Okay. On page 5, no, I'm sorry, not 500. 460. Hold on, I'm putting it up here because these 2 pages don't have the page numbers. Okay. So on page 460, it's split in half, but we're going to read the whole page because it just gives the remarks. The 1882 editor's remarks on the books of the interlude. Okay, so at the top, we're going to read it. Okay, so beside each the 9 entities, there's a emblem beside each one, right? Okay, so if you have the book, you can see it, but just in case you don't have it, here it is. And I'm not sure, I want to say I haven't been to God's Book of Being online. So I want to say that the online version has these emblems, but if not, there it is. I'll take a picture of it and post it so you can see it just in case it doesn't. Let's see. 460. Snap pic. I think I'm gonna be snapping quite a few pictures. Oh, we at 25 minutes? Okay. All right. The 9 entities. The first one is the symbol of Jehovah, which is this, right? And beside it, it has Jehovah. Jehovah or Jehovah said, and is equivalent to the all highest light, the all knowledge. The next symbol is a square with a heart in the middle, and that's for Tay or Tay said. The word Tay is equivalent to the words. All right, son, love you. Have a great day. Thanks. Tay or Tay said. The word Tay is equivalent to the words the highest general expression of mankind or the universal voice was. Okay, so the next symbol is for corpore, which is a not a circle like the circle in Jehovah symbol, but it's almost a little more wide and almost like an oval, but not quite. It still just look like a wider circle, but it's a circle with a line going through it, and that's corpore. Okay, okay, thanks. All right, so the next symbol is ooze. It's a square with a okay, so say you see a black square, right? Not fully black, just the outline is black, right? And the inside is white, but in the inside, going to each corner diagonally is also hollowed out. So you got a square that's not fully connected at the 4 corners, right? So there, space, there, space, there, space, there, another space. Okay, and that's for ooze or ooze said. Ooze is equivalent to the vanishment of things seen into things unseen. Ooze is also equivalent to worldliness or world's people. All right, the next symbol is would that be I think that's a right angle, a right angle with 2 arrows, one going this way and one going this way. So the arrow's going this way, and you have the angle right here, right? Okay, so it's like this. This is the angle, and the arrow going this way, and the arrow going this way. And that is esphoma or esphoma said, equivalent to there is something in the wind, or as things seem to indicate signs of the times. The next symbol is for S or S said, and it's also kind of like the square, but it's a circle with instead of the hollowed out corners, it's the hollowed out points at like north, south, east, and west, right? So kind of like Jehovah's symbol at the front, where it's the circle and the cross. Where the cross would be is hollowed out all through the circle. So there's a break in a circle where you see 4 quadrants, dirt, space, dirt, space, dirt, space, dirt, space, right? And under it, there's a line. So there's a circle with the line, but the line is hollowed out at north, south, east, and west. Okay. And that is S or S said, equivalent to the unseen world, also to the spirit world, the testimony of angels, also spirit. All right, so the next symbol is a rectangular looking box, like it's standing up long ways like this, rectangle, with an X in it. So like say if you was filling out an application and you had the X the box, that's what it looks like, a box with an X in it. And that is Hak or Hak said, darkness. Ignorance is Hak. Darkness may be corporal or spiritual. Dark ages or time of anarchy and false philosophy. I see we might be having to come back and forth to remember what these symbols are in our reading, possibly. So let me go ahead and just mark this page with a sticky because I think I might be flipping back and forth. All right, let's do this. Okay, so the next one is a book with a line under it, right? The book is kind of diagonal. It almost looks like a diamond shape. The book is leaning to the side like in a diamond shape, but you can clearly tell it's a book with a line underneath. So there's a book leaning with a line underneath. And that is Cosmon or Cosmon said, the present era. all knowledge and possession of man, embracing corporal and spiritual knowledge sufficiently proven. And the last one almost looked like a bull with horns, but it's a circle with a line under it with two horns coming out the head. So imagine my head being a circle, and then you have like the two horns coming up like this. And in it, and under it there's a line. And in it, it looks like waves of, actually, it don't look like waves of water. It looked like a face. Okay, it looked like a face with a mask on. So you got the eye, you got dot dot, and it looked like you got on like a raccoon got on a mask or a burglar, right? So see how my glasses are outlined in black with dots in the middle? That's what it looked like. That's exactly what it looked like. And then it got a little nose and a straight line for a mouth, right? And it says this symbol with the line under the head, right? Cephas said, Seffas. Cephas said. Cephas is equivalent to the established or the enforced as the laws of the land or the religion of the land as established. All right, and that's the end of the 9 entities. And it said, God said these. What, babe?
Honestly. I mean, everybody needs to know this.
What?
I mean, I'm serious. My wife is a good A woman. I mean, seriously though.
Thank you, babe. Okay.
And inside and out, true and true. And y'all don't see this on camera. I'm talking about what you see when it's off camera. I'm honest to God, man. Seriously, man. When I can argue with her, and she knows she right. And she still love you anyhow, knowing that you dead wrong.
So I was gonna karate chop you right to the throat last night, like James Murphy. Go to sleep. It's like, you hungry? And I came and fixed him something to eat. I'm like, Father, put him to sleep in a deep sleep so I can go to sleep.
She is so like loving and real, true and true. Like that's something that you can't make up. That's something that you can't read. That's something that only the Father has to perform and just be in her as He is in her. And I thank you. Honest to God, man, I thank you.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah, I'm serious. You know, I mean that though.
Thanks, babe.
Y'all go ahead and continue. But I mean, just being honest with y'all. This is a woman who she ain't just performing, even though we joke about things. It's a woman who is true and true. You know what I mean? This is the way that she lived. You know, she lived this life. And I thank you for living something that you not only read and being, you just live it. Thank you, babe.
And thanks, babe.
So, yeah.
Okay, y'all. So after the 9 entities and the emblems that it was giving us, it says, God said, these are the 9 entities, or according to the ancients, Jehovah and his 8 children, his sons and daughters. And these are the same which in all ages poets and philosophers have made to speak as the family of the universe. Through them I speak. Jehovah is the light that is knowledge. The manifestation of knowledge in man is Jehovah. The growth of wisdom in man as the earth groweth older is the tree of life. Let me read that again. Okay. God said, these are the 9 entities, or according to the ancients, Jehovah and his 8 children, his sons and daughters. And these are the same which in all ages poets and philosophers have made to speak as the family of the universe. Through them I speak. Jehovah is the light that is knowledge. The manifestation of knowledge in man is Jehovah. The growth of wisdom in man as the earth groweth older is the tree of light. And that is the end of the top portion right there. And at the bottom, it has the 1882 editor's remarks on the books of the interlude. And it says, here follow first God's Book of Ben, second, Book of Cosmogony, third, English version of Vedic Book of Praise, which is Bond's Book of Praise, fourth, Book of Sappha. After these, which constitute an interlude, the history begins again in the book of Esdras from the time of Moses, Capelia, and Chine, and continues down to the present. The first book of the interlude would apply to any age of the earth. The nine entities mentioned figure in all ancient literature as gods or lords or saviors. I have omitted the word te or ta, substituting the word man. Us, I have retained in preference to the word destroyer. S, I have used instead of the cumbrous expression spirit world. As Phoma, I have retained instead of Aeolin, God of the wind. I think the word man in such an argument is to be preferred above the word Job. People are so apt to mistake a figurative illustration in an argument for an actual person. In most modern interpretation of ancient sacred books, this has been the cause. That has clearly been the case with the Bible. From what we understand now that we're reading through here, periods they've actually made into people, and so on and so forth. I have, in most modern interpretation of ancient sacred books, this has been the case. I have seen English interpretations of Vedic books that gravely assert those beautiful expressions of the mountain of heaven to be barbaric expressions of places on the earth. As for the battles of the beasts, they have been related in the all ancient sacred books. The book of cosmogony sets aside nearly all our present philosophy of the structure of the universe and the powers and causes of the movement of the suns and planets. The attraction of gravitation, which we have been taught from our youth up, is all set aside. It was left to my opinion whether to call it Book of Cosmogony or Book of Prophecy. What we call mathematics today was by the ancients called prophecy, especially as to the foretelling the movements and changes of the heavenly bodies. The Bond's Book of Praise, except as an extravaganza, is really a recapitulation of the wonders of the universe as illustrated in OAHSPE. The Book of Sappha is a discourse on philology. Philology? What? Philology. Phil. Oh, I was getting my lips ready to say philosophy, but ain't no S. Philology. The Book of Sappha is a discourse on philology and on the rites and mystic orders from the earliest age of man down to the present. Many of the passwords, signs, and regulations of the decrees are omitted out of respect to the faithists of today, with whom they are sacred in the order. A sufficiency of many of the degrees is given to enable the student to perceive the qualifications necessary in order to become a member, as well as to see the objects and aims of the ceremonies. Let me read that sentence again. This is a whole bunch of like college talk. A sufficiency of many, a sufficiency of many of the degrees is given to enable the student to perceive the qualifications necessary in order to be a member, as well as to see the objects and aims of the ceremonies. I have witnessed many of these degrees being worked, and they surpassed anything that can be written for the public. Not only in sublimity and devotion are these rites wonderful, but in the knowledge the students obtain of the dominion of gods and saviors over mortals, and of the different heavenly divisions of Jehovah's judgment. Only by witnessing these things can anyone realize the ground on which the members know their power. Wow. I'm gonna have to go read that again. All right, page 451. God's Book of Being. Tikva. Did I say hey to Tikva? Somebody said hey to Tikva. I ain't see Tikva come in. Oh, let me go all the way back up. Mom, shalom, shalom. Uncle JB, I didn't see a few people come in. Shebrew. All praises to the Creator. Tikva, Miss Amazing Wonders. Okay, yeah, y'all came in when I last looked up. Okay. Jamia, shalom, shalom. Okay. Page 461. God's Book of Being, sometimes called Book of the Nine Entities, being the Tree of All Light. Chapter 1. God said, before the ark of Bond, the earth was rank. The seed of the tree of light had been planted many times, but the rankness destroyed it. In the time of the ark of Bond,
What destroyed it?
Let me just go back. Verse 1. God said, before the ark of Bond, the earth was rank. The seed of the tree of light had been planted many times, but the rankness destroyed it. So I guess the rank, it wasn't good, or it stank, or it's not in its perfected state yet. It's still unripe. The seed of the tree of light had been planted many times, but the rankness destroyed it. In the time of the ark of Bond, the earth reached maturity. Jehovah said, I gave to the inhabitants of the earth Capelia, Moses, and Chine. Through them, the tree of light was made everlasting on the earth. The great peoples then knew I was God, and my word was with them. As had spoken before that day, and man knew the presence of angels, but he heeded them not. When my word came, man gave heed. Mine was with authority. Emblems, signs, and symbols were the letters of man's alphabet to lead him upward in wisdom. Wisdom cometh not suddenly, as darkness goeth away, light cometh. Great knowledge is all around about, to make man perceive it, is the labor of God. Man said, I have looked in corpore, but found not knowledge. Corpore saith, doth thy flesh know? Have thy bones knowledge? Is it in the blood? Jehovah said, I am knowledge. Come thou to me. I am the unseen. Behold thyself, O man. Canst thou put thy finger on the place and say, here is knowledge? Hath wisdom bulk in a place? Hawk said, who knoweth the boundary of light? Behold, I cannot hide away from him. Why is my small corner compared with the all light of Ethera? And right here, it has plate. It doesn't have plate 18, but since it says the all light of Ethera, plate 18 is right here, and it's a picture of it. And I guess magnified. It says this is Ethera. For what is this? Yeah, plate 18, Ethera, right here. Verse 16. Jehovah said, think not that the vault of the firmament is nothing, for thither have I created Etherian worlds of sizes equal to the corporeal worlds, but they are independent of them. These are my kingdoms, prepared for the spirits of men and women and children, whom I bring forth into life on corpore. Nor are my Ethereal worlds alike in density or motion, but of different consistencies, that they may be suitable for the varied advancement of my children. Man said, O world, give me light, give me substantial knowledge, that I can put my finger on it and say, here is the real. Uz said, O man, behold thy folly. All things thou seest and hearest and touchest are my abode. Uz is what? Darkness. I remember Uz. Uz said, Uz is equivalent to the vanishment of things seen into things unseen. Uz is also equivalent to worldliness or world's people. Okay. 18. Uz said, O man, behold thy folly. All things thou seest and hearest and touchest are my abode. Man said, how sayest thou? Thou art vanishment. All things perish. Thou art that is without foundation. God said, Thou art both a flesh man and an S man. How hopest thou for thy flesh talents to acquire substantial knowledge? All substance is ev- evanescent. Yeah. All substance is evanescent. The real is the all light which thou canst not comprehend. Man said, Why then this craving in my soul for all wisdom? Was my creation in vain? Jehovah said, Because I created thee, craving for light, thou goest forth searching. I read that again. Jehovah said, Because I created thee, craving for light, thou goest forth searching. Thou art on a long road to the summit of all light, even gods have not attained. Wow, we got a long journey ahead of us, y'all. We just starting. We clearly are just starting, right? Man said, Why then this craving in my soul for all wisdom? Was my creation in vain? Jehovah said, Because I created thee craving for light, thou goest forth searching. Thou art on a long road to the summit of all light, even gods have not attained. Man inquired, Why then was death created? Uz said, Behold, even stones molder into dust. Wouldst thou have had a separate law for man? Moldest into dust. That's another way to look at it. Yeah, you do literally. After you done, yeah, you nothing but dust. Okay, yeah. Let me go back. Verse 23. Man inquired, Why then was death created? Uz said, Behold, even stones molder into dust. Wouldst thou have had a separate law for man? Es said, I am within thy corpore. When thy corpore moldeth into dust, behold, I am the S man, thy real self. I am thy spirit, and like a seed planted, I dwell within the corpore. I never thought of it that way, right? The seed going down into the ground, crack and break, and what's beautiful begins to blossom out. Our spirit trapped in our flesh, seed, body. When we die, something. Hopefully, your seed is good. Look, this is. I love the way they work this. Look, y'all forgive me. Sometimes I act like a kindergartner. I'm just like, ooh, listen, hold on. This is good. Okay, verse 25. Let me go back to 23. Man inquired, Why then was death created? Uz said, Behold, even stones molder into dust. Wouldst thou have had a separate law for man? Es said, I am within thy corpore. When thy corpore moldeth into dust, behold, I am the S man, thy real self. I am thy spirit, and like a seed planted, I dwell within thy corpore. Jehovah hath said, The corpore of man I created as a womb for the S man. There is pregnancy on so many levels. Listen, Jehovah hath said, The corpore of man I created as a womb for the S man. By death, behold, the S is born. Around about my corporal worlds, I place atmosphere. As for the earth and other corporal worlds, provide a womb for the spirit of man, so have I made atmosphere the substance for a womb of the souls of men. Man said, If, when I am dead, I shall see the place, is not the germ of that light already in me? How am I made? I Man said, If, when I am dead, I shall see the place, is not the germ of that light already in me? How am I made that I see, but see not this? Hear, but hear not this? If I am now dead to that which is to be, will I not then be dead to what is now? Give me light, O Father. That's a good question. Jehovah said, To man I gave a corporal body that he might learn corporal things. But death I made that man might rise in spirit and inherit my ethereal worlds. Get a different color highlight if you ain't already got this highlighted. This is already my new favorite book. Hold on. I just feel like I just gotta read it slow with reverence. Listen, this is answer the question: why are we here? Like, why were we born? Like, what's the purpose of life? Listen. Jehovah said, to man I gave a corporal body that he might learn corporal things, but death I made that man might rise in spirit and inherit my ethereal worlds. Two senses gave I to all men, corporal senses and spiritual senses. Nevertheless, the twain are one person. A man with corporal senses transcending chooses corporal things. A man with spiritual senses transcending chooseth spiritual things. Two kinds of worlds have I made, corporal worlds and S worlds. He who desireth of corpore shall receive from corpore, for he is my son, in whom I am well pleased. He who desireth of S shall receive from S, for she is my daughter, in whom I am well pleased. I like how the New Testament just my son whom I'm well pleased. They're always leaving out the daughter. I had to say something about this, right? This is one thing I absolutely love about OAHSPE. It doesn't leave the women in the wind, right? It lets us know that, hey, you were created for something special too. Nothing more or less than what the men were, but the Bible is clearly all about the men. It's like it just leave us wondering, right? Leave us all over the place. Two kinds of worlds have I made, corporal worlds and S worlds. He who desireth of corpore shall receive from corpore, for he is my son, in whom I am well pleased. He who desireth of S shall receive from S, for she is my daughter, in whom I am well pleased. Cosmon said, because man liveth on corporal worlds, corpore is called son, but because man in spirit live in the S worlds, S is called daughter. Oh, listen, yo, okay. So some of y'all may not have been here. Remember, Legends of the Jews said this. Listen, yo, okay, so remember, perfect example. If y'all were here when we were reading about Moses, right? And it kind of threw me off. I'm like, so is the spirit of Moses a woman? Because when y'all was speaking to him, Moses' body, because remember, it was time for Moses to go, right? And I forget who it was. Samael. Anyway, the angel of, let's just say the angel of death. It was time for Moses to go, right? And it was time for the angel of death to go get Moses. But it said Moses was so holy and his spirit walked so heavy on the earth that even the angel of death couldn't touch him. And he was saying, no, I can do it. He was talking to you. I was like, no, I'm gonna go get Moses. I'm gonna go get Moses. He was like, you sure? Because I can. He said, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go get him. I'm gonna go get him. Right? And Moses knew it was time for him to go, and he didn't really want to go for real, right? So he gave the angel of death to run around. Just kind of summing it up in my words. He gave the angel of death to run around. The angel of death tried to sneak up on him. And Moses like, you not taking my soul. You can't take my soul. Matter of fact, you ain't gonna be able to lift me. I'm too heavy. The righteousness the righteousness wants to stay here on the earth, right? He said, you ain't gonna be able to take my soul. So he tried. He kept going back. He couldn't take it. He finally went back. Like I think it like the third time. He said, you got to go get him. I can't. He keep playing games. I can't even lift him. So when he went down there, it was like this entourage that went to go get Moses, right? Moses just laid on down, right? And so Yah began to talk to Moses, but not to his flesh, but to his spirit, right? And it was almost like his flesh and his spirit, what clearly they're two different things, but there was a clear distinction between his flesh and his spirit. Trina, yeah, you was there, right? Moses was talking smack. Look, there was a clear distinction, and even Moses' spirit, the real him. Moses was so holy that his spirit said, I do not desire to leave the abode of this holy man. Right. And it was amazing. I think I teared up the rest of the way through, and the way that Yah was speaking to the spirit of Moses, and he was referring to the spirit of Moses as a she and saying, my daughter. And I'm just like, wait, what? What do you mean? Moses is a man. Why are you saying my daughter? And so then, and that was about clearly, that was the time I'm like, okay, so he reincarnated. So maybe the previous life, maybe the real him is a woman, but he reincarnated into a man's body and became Moses for this time, right? But clearly my thinking even then was still all chopped and screwed up. So this is I gotta highlight and under this. Listen, I'm gonna read this all again. Listen. That's the first thing that popped into my mind. That clears up so much. Listen, look, hold on. Verse 29. Jehovah said, to man I gave a corporal body that he might learn corporal things, but death I made that man might rise in spirit and inherit my Ethereal worlds. Two senses gave I to all men, corporal senses and spiritual senses. Nevertheless, the twain are one person. A man with corporal senses, transcending, chooseth corporal things. A man with spiritual senses, transcending, chooseth spiritual things. Two kinds of worlds have I made, corporal worlds and worlds. He who desireth the corporal shall receive from corporal, for he is my son, in whom I am well pleased. He who desireth of shall receive from for she is my daughter, in whom I am well pleased. Cosmon said, because man liveth on corporal worlds, corporal is called son, but because man in spirit live in the worlds, is called daughter. Listen, let me say, this is so cool on a whole nother level. I just thought about this when I was reading through this time. Listen, look. Son, the flesh, right? Female as the spirit that we can't see. Think about men and their male members, right? It's out, you can see it, but the woman is in, you can't see it. The whole, listen, the man has the woman's reproductive system that's on the outside of his body. The woman has the same thing the man has, but it's pushed up into her, right? The male's is called a penis, the woman's is called a cervix. Look, the woman has ovaries, the man has testicles. Y'all, this is so cool. Listen, look. Okay, where we at? 57 minutes. Yo, look, the spirit has no sexes, right? Yeah, but I mean, we get it. Look, this is amazing. This is amazing. I get what they're saying. The Shebrew said they must have sexes because these spirits are gods and goddesses. That's a distinction. They listen, I don't think we fully understand it, at least my understanding, right? I think we try to explain the spiritual world in a way that we understand here on this realm. When we really a lot of times we just going with our highest light at the moment, like OAHSPE says, with our highest light, you know. But there's definitely a distinction. Sexes as to reproducing, that's a different understanding on a whole nother level, because they aren't necessarily reproducing when they become gods and goddesses, right? That level is like the elementary level where we're at now. That's what happens here, right? Not that you can't have it happen there, but that's like a whole nother thing, which I fully really don't understand, but I do understand there is a lack of understanding for us in regards to this, right? Because that's one of the major arguments amongst people here in corporate. Cosmon, Cal, Shalom. Listen, okay, so let's read one more chapter. Since we're at 59 minutes, this is good. Okay, chapter 2, page 462 in God's book of Ben. God said, hear me, O man, I am come to teach thee wise dominion. Man said, the Aborigines were free. Why shall man with more wisdom learn dominion? Cephas said, My peace is forced peace. I am the light and the life. Man inquired, behold, the air of heaven is free. Can dominion come down out of nothing, as it seemeth, and rule over something that is proven? How can God rule over solid flesh? Uz said, O vain man, do I not come in the winds of heaven and cast cities in epidemic, and yet man seeth me not? I inoculate the breath, I cast fevers in the bright sunlight, and yet no man seeth me. Jehovah said, All power gave I unto the unseen to rule over the seen. Cosmon said, Why wilt thou, O man, search forever in corpore for the cause of things? Like kind of like what we were just talking about the sexes. Why are we searching here for the cause of how it is there, right? Cosmon said, Why wilt thou, O man, search forever in corpore for the cause of things? Behold, the unseen part of thyself ruleth over the seen. God said, Think not that the S worlds are less governed by system than are the corporal worlds. The same creator created all. Behold, all things are in dominion. Thou wert in dark dominion before the time of bond. By my own light gave I thee a dominion of light in the time of bond. Man inquired, If the unseen rule in man, what ruled the substance of man before he was made? Jehovah said, I created all things, seen and unseen. My hand was forever stretched forth in work. I make and I dissipate everlastingly. Behold, I make a whirlwind in Ethera, hundreds and hundreds of millions of miles across, and it driveth to the center of a corporal world from that which was unseen. I blow my breath upon the planet, and lo, man cometh forth inquiring, Who am I, and what is my destiny? I send an elder brother of man to teach him and show him the light. God said, Behold me, O man, I am an elder brother. I have passed through death and found the glory of the unseen worlds. Jehovah gave to me, thy God, to have dominion over the earth and her heavens. Okay, so before we go to the next page, which is to finish up the rest of this, I'm going to show y'all these three plates, plate 19, plate 20, and plate 21. So plate 19 is the earth, and it says black center and her atmosphere. It's right here. And I'm gonna take a picture of all this. I only get 5 shots to put in the community section, so hopefully I can get all of them in here. YouTube, can y'all see it? What'd you say? I don't think physically is why I'm a faithist. I missed some of the comments. Okay, here, plate 20, Ethereal worlds and roadways for sun phalanxes. Am I saying it right? Phalanxes? I might have to Google that and listen to them say it. This one right here. I think everybody can see it when I hold it right here. This one right here. All right, and so this one, plate 21, is the primary vortex, the power that maketh planets. The power that maketh planets. See Book of Cosmogony. Okay, right here. Okay, so that's the vortex. I had to flip to the Book of Cosmogony. I was saying cosmology. Okay. We're going to get to that. That is after this, right after God's Book of Being. So I don't even know where to go, with all these charts and pictures. I got to read this straight through to make sure I'm understanding what I'm reading. I'm definitely going to have to read it a few times. All right. Okay, so page 464. Let me show you this one. Okay, plate 22, secondary vortex. And then plate 23 is third age of vortex. Okay, the first one. Secondary vortex right here. And here is third age of vortex. Okay. So I'm going to read page 464, verse 20. Man said, I have found truth incorpore. I know I live, that trees grow and die. This is true knowledge. Give me truth in regard to the unseen, that I may prove it truth. Why, O God, givest thou matters of heaven and earth and signs and symbols? Give me the real light. I want no figures. God said, Thou art vain, O man. What then hast thou learnt? Canst thou tell why the grass is green, or why one rose is red and another white, or the mountains raised up, or the valleys sunken low, or why a man was not made to fly as a bird, or live in the water like a fish? Whence came the thought of shame? Even thyself thou dost not comprehend, nor know of thine own knowledge the time of thy beginning. Thou knowest 3 times 3 are 9, and even this thou cannot prove but by symbols and images. Nor is there aught in thy corporal knowledge that thou canst prove otherwise, save it be thy presence, and even that thou seest is not thy presence, but the symbol and image of it. This is a symbol and image of our true man, our spirit. Yo, listen. This is good. Nor is there, I'm gonna go back to 24, nor is there aught in thy corporal knowledge that thou canst prove otherwise, save it be thy presence, and even that thou seest is not thy presence, but the symbol and image of it. For thou thyself art but as a seed, a spark of the all light that thou canst not prove to exist. Man inquired, where then is real knowledge possible to man? If my corporal body and corporal senses are evanescent and soon fly away, how can I comprehend that which flieth not away, the spirit? Yet I know a truth. I know that 10 things are 10. This knowledge I can write down and clearly teach to my brother. See, here are 10. This is exact science. As Foma said, thou hast written but 2 strokes and called them 10. Now I will show thee 10. As Foma wrote, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He did 10 marks. He did 1 0. This is 10. He said, no, this is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I will show thee 10, as Foma wrote, 10 marks. Yet be not surprised, for now I will convict myself, also inasmuch as I have deceived thee. I said I would show thee 10, and straightway I made 10 marks, but I should have written the word 10. What? Okay, that's 10. Listen, let me read this again. I see why I needed to get a math tutor. Listen, verse 27. As Foma said, thou hast written but 2 strokes and called them 10, 1 0. Now I will show thee 10, as Foma wrote 10 tally marks. Yet be not surprised, for now I will convict myself, also inasmuch as I have deceived thee. I said I would show thee 10, and straightway I made 10 marks, but I should have written the word 10, TEN. Now thou art wise. Nay, hear me further. For all I have spoken is false. For have I not tried to persuade thee that one uttereth word 10 was 10, wherefore I should have uttered 10 utterances? Hold on. Nay, hear me further, for all I have spoken is false. For have I not tried to persuade thee that the one uttered word 10 was 10, wherefore I should have uttered 10 utterances? Suppose thy exact science is nothing, and thy supposed truth is only falsehood compounded and acquiesced in. Verse 28, Jehovah saith, man's wisdom is but the experience of my creations, expressed to man's understanding in signs and symbols. Man said, if I search for the real, shall I never attain it? Why then this craving? Is truth only that which flieth away? Behold, thou hast said, Thou shalt love the Creator with all thy heart and soul. How can I love that which I cannot comprehend? As said, Behold the utterances of the birds, and the skipping of the lambs at play. These are the express love they have for the Creator. To rejoice because thou art created, to seek after exalted rejoicing, to cultivate the light of thy life, to turn away from dark things. These are to love thy Creator. Man said, Why then, if truth cannot be found and mathematics cannot be proven but by things that are false in fact, I will search for goodness. I will shun sin. Is this not wise? God said, This is wise. But what are goodness and good works? And that's the end of chapter 2. Hold on. Let's read chapter 3. It's really short. It's 38 verses, but it looked really short, right? It's really short verses. Okay. So chapter 3, there's plate 24, and it has fourth age of vortex, now called Inqua, Inqua, a ball within a ball, or womb of vapor. Then it has in parentheses SS satellites. Okay. Here. Okay, chapter 3, page 465. Man said, Behold, hold on, let me read the last verse from the previous chapter, verse 34. God said, This is wise, but what are goodness and good works? Man said, Behold, I have struggled hard all my days and met many crosses and losses to provide my son that he shall fare better. This is goodness. Uz said, Vain man, thou understandest not the creations, thy trials, thy losses and crosses. Losses and crosses. We got to use that today. Thy losses and crosses.
Baby,
Yes.
I need you to pray for me today.
Okay.
You gonna come work with me?
Sure.
Hmm?
Yes. Us, verse 2. Us said, Vain man, thou understandest not the creations. Thy trials, thy losses and crosses have built up thy soul to provide thy son that he shall have no trials, nor losses, nor crosses will not be good for him. Ooh, babe, listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. Remember what we was talking about yesterday? Listen. Remember what we was talking about yesterday? Giving our kids everything we didn't have? Listen to this. Listen to this. It's good, but it may not be good to heap it upon them because it could cause them to become lazy and degenerate. Listen.
Degenerate. Go ahead.
Listen. Man said, Behold, I have struggled hard all my days and met many crosses and losses to provide my son that he shall fare better. This is goodness. Uz said, Vain man, thou understandest not the creations. Thy trials, thy losses and crosses have built up thy soul to provide thy son that he shall have no trials, nor losses, nor crosses will not be good for him.
Wow.
This will not be goodness. Give him experience.
That was the creation. The creation said that.
No,
Not
listen,
the
no.
creator.
Listen, it is
That was
listen.
the creation that said it, not the creator, though.
So you missed a little bit. You missed a little bit. You missed a little bit. Okay. Well, technically, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me go back. Hold on. Uz.
The creation said it.
Hold on.
That should praise the creator more than the creation.
Worldliness.
The creation said that.
Technically, what you just said is right. Let's go back to Uz. Who said that? Uz. Uz.
That was good.
Okay. Uz or Uz said. Uz is equivalent to the vanishment of things seen into things unseen. Uz is also equivalent to worldliness or world's people. World's people could be considered creations, right? Okay.
Girl, I want you.
I
still want you.
Thanks, babe.
Every day I still want you. If y'all
Thank
ain't
you.
got one, I must say y'all need to go get one.
Okay, let me finish reading this, babe. Don't distract me.
If you ain't ever
Okay.
had one, you better go get one.
But you can't have this one.
No, not this one, Jack. This is over with, Jack.
Listen.
Filed, sealed, and delivered.
Verse 2, let me read this again. Uz said, Vain man, thou understandest not the creations. Thy trials, thy losses and crosses have built up thy soul, to provide thy son that he shall have no trials, nor losses, nor crosses, will not be good for him. This will not be goodness. Give him experience. Man said, Then I will teach him to sin not, tell no lies, to steal not, to preserve his body pure. This is goodness. Uz said, What canst thou do that is not a sin? What canst thou teach that is not falsehood? Thou paintest a picture and sayest, Behold, this is my farm. In this thou utterest falsehood. Thou givest a book to thy son, saying, Here is a good book. This is also false. Can paper be good? Thou sayest, Here is a book of wisdom. This is also false. Wisdom dwelleth not in paper. How then canst thou teach thy son to tell no lies?
Say it again.
Since,
Wisdom, what?
Listen, okay, I'll read it again. Uz said, What canst thou do that is not a sin? What canst thou teach that is not falsehood? Thou paintest a picture and says, Behold, this is my farm. In this thou utterest falsehood. Thou givest a book to thy son, saying, Here is a good book. This is also false. Can paper be good? Thou sayest, Here is a book of wisdom. This is also false. Wisdom dwelleth not in paper. How then can thou teach thy son to tell no lies, since no man can speak without lying? God said, Only one is truth, Jehovah. All else are false. One only is without sin, Jehovah. All else do sin every day. Man said, To understand the laws of the universe, this is great wisdom. S inquired, What is a law of the universe? Man said, That an apple will fall to the ground. Uz said, By my hand the apple rotteth, the earth. Uz said, By my hand the apple rotteth, the earth to the earth, but moisture flieth upward. Jehovah said, By my touch the substance rises up out of the earth and becometh an apple. Sayest thou, My law is opposite? Sayest thou, law is my what? Hold on. Let me make sure I'm reading it right. Verse 12. Jehovah said, By my touch the substance riseth up out of the earth and becometh an apple. Sayest thou, law is my opposite? Man said, That's good, that's good. What is it? Oh, probably one of the older kids. Let me see.
Yeah.
Either Jeremiah's, Jalen's, or Elijah's.
Elijah's.
And that looks new. I don't know who that belongs to. And all three of them are gone to work.
Yeah,
Okay.
Here, babe. Take this.
Verse 12, page 465.
I don't know.
Jehovah said, By my touch the substance riseth up out of the earth and becometh an apple. Sayest thou, law is my opposite? Man said, Why then? You know what? That's good. I know I keep going back to this verse. I just thought about something when it said, Jehovah, by my touch the substance riseth up. Jehovah said, By my touch the substance riseth up out of the earth, or the substance, our spirit, rises up out of the earth. The flesh goes back to the earth, right? That's good. Jehovah said, By my touch the substance riseth up out of the earth and becometh an apple. Sayest thou, law is my opposite? Man said, Why then? There are two laws, one to make an apple rise up and grow on a tree, and one to make it fall down again. Is this the creation? One law to pull one way and another law in another way? Can one law make one rose red and another law make another rose white. One law make one man good, and another law make another man bad. Jehovah said, I make no laws. Behold, I labor with my own hands. I am present everywhere. S said, all men may be likened unto green fruit, and on the way toward ripeness. What more is man's earth life than a tree? It hath its winters and summers for a season, and then the end cometh. Jehovah said, behold, I created light and darkness, and one followeth the other. I give day unto the earth for a season, and then I rain down GA for a season. Even so, I created the soul of man, today light and joyous, tomorrow in gloom and melancholy. Man inquired, how can I know if a thing be of God or if it be of nature? What is Jehovah more than natural law? Corpor answered, what is nature, O man? Why wilt thou use a name for the members of my body? Behold, the trees are mine, the mountains and valleys, the waters and every living thing, and everything that liveth not, they are me. Why sayest thou nature? Now I say unto thee, the soul of all things is Jehovah. That which thou callest nature is but the corporal part. Wow. Man said, I mean the laws of nature. Certain combinations under certain conditions give the same result. This is law. God said, what hast thou gained by the word law instead of the word Jehovah? That's good. You want to keep on with this word law, huh? Jehovah is what it is, the all in all and everything. God said, what hast thou gained by the word law instead of the word Jehovah? If that doeth the thing, doeth it of its own accord, then it is alive and wise withal. Therefore, it is Jehovah. If it do not of itself, then it is not the doer, but the instrument. How then can law do anything? Law is dead, and the dead do nothing. Within atmosphere, wark WARK becometh organic and falleth to the earth. Wark in Etheria becometh an Aegean cloud and shattered. Men make laws as betwixt themselves. These laws are rules governing action, but they are not action itself. Jehovah is action. His actions are manifest in things thou seest. He is light and life. All things are a complete whole, which is his person. And that is where we're going to pause at today. This is good. This is blowing my mind. 3, 4. This is good, y'all. Okay, yo, we won't be here tomorrow. 66. Y'all can read ahead. I may read ahead, but I like experiencing it the first time going through it and get to ask the questions of those who already read through it. But this is really, really good, right? Okay, hold on. What am I gonna say today? Hold on.
Mom,
Yeah, babe.
can I do a quick ad? Mom,
Yes.
can I do a quick ad?
Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay. Father, help us to sort out our thoughts on what life and death truly is and what you are and what you created us to be as a spark that comes from you.
2.
All right, this is good. This is just I'm gonna go back and reread all of what I read just so it can sink down a little bit more, right? So I hope y'all enjoyed the reading for today. You can go get Bella.
Mom,
It is
an ad?
Thursday.
Can I do an ad?
No, you can't.
What's this?
Boy, no. Go. No. Yeah, so many kids in our house.
Look.
Okay, go taking consoles through there.
Look.
Okay. All right. He wanted to do an ad. He just wanted to let it play. Okay, listen, y'all. It is Thursday, August the 18th, 2022, day 189 of year 4, reading through the books of the law and the prophets. Another 4-year consecutive day count, day 1207. We read pages 457 of 466, which completed the book of the Ark of Bond. And now we're in God's book of being. You know what? I'm going to break these pages up. Hold on. 457 to 459 was Ark of Bond. Then 460 to 466 was God's Book of Being. All right, beautiful people. So, and I'm gonna snap a picture of all these plates that we saw today. That way, if you don't have the book or if you can't see it online, you can see it here. All right, y'all. Yes, have a blessed day. I just love you all. I love this journey, never a dull moment. Riding with the ever-present, our almighty, all light Jehovah. Love it. He indeed is most adorable, and y'all so precious. Oh, you talking about Isaiah. All right. Yo, Cosmo Cow, he said Jehovah got these boys confounded. Yo, this is crazy. I'm confounded. Not that I'm anything, but I'm just like, I'm just like that kid that's asking questions. Why? Wow. What? This is so good. Hold on, I missed something. What y'all was going in over here? Hold on. Y'all was talking about the mailing. Let me go back. I'm being nosy. Hold on. What y'all said? Hold on. Selah, I saw you. Selah, first of all, shalom, brother. I saw your comment what you made about my husband. Hold on. Let me go back up. I'm being nosy what y'all saying. I'm interested. We still talking about the spirits being male and female. Hold on. Let me go back up. If y'all gotta go ahead. At this point, I'm just being nosy in the comment section. Hold on. Let me go back up. Let me see what y'all said. Since Facebook ain't over here, I'm gonna read it out loud so they can hear too. Hold on. Man, this y'all said a lot. Okay. First time I love your comment. You must have made that when I was talking about the women. Y'all are very important. Y'all are the bridge of life. Y'all give birth, sacred life. Okay. OAHSPE College University. Shalom, shalom. Okay, let me see. Spirit has no sexes. First time said. And that's when I read Hebrew comment. They must have sexes because these spirits are gods and goddesses. That's a distinction. And Cosmon came in. Cosmon in the house. Okay, we're gonna see what Cosmon said that in a minute. Shebrew said, I'm female in flesh. When I die, I'll be a goddess in spirit, which I found to be the truth. I mean, I ain't died yet, but as far as we know, I think we keep that same sex distinction, so to speak. First time the distinction comes at birth. Cosmon said correct, Shebrew. Communicator said, sovereign supreme woman came from Adam man, although Adam's son come from mother's woman. Let's see. First time, think of spirit as the most high, creator of all creation, no sexes. We are in his image. Shebrew, I don't think we lose our sex after death. Cosmon said we don't lose our sex or nature at all. Okay, Cosmon, he's very knowledgeable of OAHSPE. He's been studying this for years, just like Selah has. You know, way more than I do. So I tend to listen to what those brothers say because they've been doing this. We newcomers to the party. Like I just heard of this a couple months ago. Okay, so he said, Cosmo said, we don't lose our sex or nature at all. Shebrew said, Creator has kingdoms full of gods and goddesses. Cosmo and Cal said, yes, ma'am, all praises to the most high creator. Hallelujah. Shebrew said, we not in the creator's image. Cosmo said, Jamil laughed. Cosmos said, the creator said, in likeness of himself, he made the male and female. Okay. First time, I just listened to her say, when you are spiritual, Jehovah calls you daughter. When you physical, you are called man. Oh, okay. I think I see what you call it when we was talking about Moses and how this said it where the flesh is called male and the spirit is referred to as female or he, she, right? Okay. I think it is sovereign over righteously, all lovingly, spirit saw it reigns. Cosmo said, huh? No, he said, huh, at first time. Oh, okay. Okay. He was, okay.
Mom, you're done.
He responded, he said, huh, to
Mom,
first
you're done.
time. In a minute, Pooh. Hold on. I know I told Zay to come get you. Hold on. I'm being nosy in the chat. I just listened to her say, when you are spiritual, Jehovah calls you daughter. When you are physical, you are called man. Cosmo responded, huh, to that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not, maybe Cosmo didn't hear when we was talking about that. I had brought up something from Legends of the Jews when Moses was about to pass and the creator came to get his spirit. And when he was talking to his spirit, he was referring to his spirit as daughter, but his flesh as son. And I was saying that I didn't understand that when I was reading that there, but OAHSPE just really made that clear, like literally almost saying the same thing, just in different words, that the flesh, the outer man, is referred to as son because it's corporeal or flesh in the physical realm, and the spirit is referred to as she or daughter, because it's S, the spiritual realm, right? Okay. So that's how all this started. First time my spirit comes from the Most High Creator, that's his image. Stop thinking physical for all things. I don't think physically is why I'm a faith this. I don't see creator in physical at all. Cosmon said, being spiritual has nothing to do with necessarily being female, nor does physical necessarily mean man. I get that now, right? So I just kind of put all them little arguments to the side as I'm learning, because I realize at this point while reading through OAHSPE, there is a whole lot that I thought I knew that I clearly never knew at all. I love that comment, Cosmon. Being spiritual has nothing to do with necessarily being female, nor does physical necessarily mean man. Okay. First time, great. So if you're thinking spiritually, you understand the Most High Creator is within us because we are spiritual beings first and foremost. Tikva, that's when she came in. Bless up, Shebrew. You said we don't have a sex in spirit. That's not true. Or there would be no gods or goddesses, just spirits. First time. And Cosma, she just read a verse where Jehovah considered spiritually connected as daughter and man as physical. Cosma said, yes, the creator is within us, and in likeness of himself, he made man male and female, aka negative and positive, aka the Ba and Om, if you're thinking spiritually. Okay, I understand that. Shebrew, creator is identifying when he uses titles like gods and goddesses. Yes, she did, but I thought you said we don't have sexes. Maybe I'm wrong. What verse says spiritual equates to feminine is what Cosmon said. Shebrew said S. She read equates to female. Oh, yo, yeah. He probably already. Okay, I flipped right to it. Page 462. Listen, I'll read this again. 462 verse 29. Hold on. Okay, so let's go back. I think we should go back to 22. Okay. But what it says it in verse 32, the last verse, but I think we need to go back to verse 22. So listen, I'm gonna read it again. Jehovah said, oh no, listen. No, we got to go back to 20. God said, thou art both a flesh man and an S man. How hopest thou for thy flesh talents to acquire substantial knowledge? All substance is evanescent. The real is the all light, which thou canst not comprehend. Man said, why then this craving in my soul for all wisdom? Was my creation in vain? Jehovah said, because I created thee, craving for light, thou goest forth searching. Thou art on a long road to the summit of all light. Even gods have not attained. Man inquired, why then was death created? Uz said, behold, even stones molder into dust. Wouldst thou have had a separate law for man? Es said, I am within thy corpore. When thy corpore moldereth into dust, behold, I am the S man, thy real self. I am thy spirit, and like a seed planted, I dwell within thy corpore. Jehovah hath said, the corpore of man I created as a womb for the S man. By death, behold, the S is born. Around about my corporal worlds I place atmosphere, for as the earth and other corporal worlds provide a womb for the spirit of man, so have I made of atmosphere the substance for a womb of the souls of men. Man said, if, when I am dead, I shall see the place, is not the germ of that light already in me? How am I made that I see, but see not this? Hear, but hear not this. If I am now dead to that which is to be, will I not then be dead to what is now? Give me light, O Father. Jehovah said, to man I gave a corporal body that he might learn corporal things, but death I made that man might rise in spirit and inherit my ethereal worlds. Two senses gave I to all men, corporal senses and spiritual senses. Nevertheless, the twain are one person. The man with corporal senses transcending chooseth corporal things. A man with spiritual senses transcending chooseth spiritual things. Two kinds of worlds have I made, corporal worlds and S worlds. He who desireth of corpore shall receive from corpore, for he is my son, and in whom I am well pleased. He who desireth of the S shall receive from S, for she is my daughter in whom I am well pleased. And here's verse 32. Cosmon said, because man liveth on corporal worlds, corporal is called son, but because man in spirit liveth in the S worlds, S is called daughter. And that's where I believe they was referring to, where Cosmon said, what verse says spiritual equates to feminine? So that's where it was. The specific verse is on page 462 and on verse 32 of chapter 1. So that was there. Okay. We're here, we were in God's book of being. Okay, we all good. Math is a monster, ain't it, Key? Look, okay. Book of Beings, go back. We are okay. First time we're all here to get a better understanding of the Creator and of all the creation. Amen. That's when Selah came in. Peace to the righteous goddesses and gods. Okay. Okay, all right. Tabitha put it. She was responding with the Book of Being, chapter 1, verses 30, 31, and 32. Yeah, and we had that highlight. I said highlight that. Okay. Okay, I'm scrolling towards the bottom. I'm gonna see if Selah has something to say or Cosmon. Yeah, Cosmon, just a simple misunderstanding. Okay. I understand that. Did I say something to need a refresh? Okay. Okay, Cosmon, I'm not tripping. It's just wrong. Spirit does not. Okay, now I get what you're saying. Spirit does not necessarily equate to female and daughter of Jehovah. It's called female because of the negative or nature of spirit. Okay, yeah, I'm with Sheba. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, it's just miscommunication. We trying to work out all the kinks in our communication and referring to things and our understanding of the different levels and stuff. So yeah, I agree with first time. Yeah, we all here to get a better understanding of everything. Okay. Oh, it just jumped down. Am I still live? Say my connection unstable. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Key, I just love you all. I love this journey. She further clarified. She said, "No, I'm talking about all y'all in the chat, and Jehovah is most adorable." Okay. All right. I think that was it. I think we kind of cleared that up. Hold on. Oh, Francis. Shalom, shalom. Okay, I think that was it. Okay. Oh, I'm still live. Okay, yeah, because my thing said your connection is unstable. Please wait while we try reconnecting. And I thought I went out, but I still saw y'all there. I know sometimes it say that, and now I completely be gone. I be talking to myself. Okay, I think that was it. Okay. All right, y'all. That's it. I hope it's all cleared up. Yeah, you feel like it's clear? Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. So that's it for today, y'all. They went back upstairs. I ain't gonna call them because I don't want to yell in y'all ear. Yeah, I don't want to yell in y'all ear, but I'm gonna hear it in a minute. I'm gonna just walk through here like ain't nothing happened. Like my husband said, you act like you ain't gotta apologize for nothing, like you ain't do nothing wrong. Let me call him. I told him I let him end it. Hey, Bella and Zay. Okay, they heard me. I'm gonna let them end it because I told them they decided they weren't gonna fight. They said, okay, you can end this one, and I'll end this one. Okay. Okay, which one you said you was gonna end?
This one.
No, which one you say Zay was gonna end? Y'all remember y'all split it.
I'm in the laptop, Zay in the phone.
Oh, okay. All right. You ending the phone? Okay, that's what she just said. All right, beautiful people. I love y'all. I will see y'all back here Saturday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.
Yeah.
We got to do all that. Boy, just end it. Don't be walking around my house with the phone.
I can walk the house with this
Bye, y'all.
phone. Look.